Show, proudly presented by Calandro Supermarket. Once again, I am your host, Jay Ducote, in studio right now with Jason Dupree from Cypress Title and Derek Sikkelee from 200 Oaks Brand Management, who works with Cypress Title a lot. And we've been talking really a lot about the food trucks today. Obviously, the Zapp's International Beer Fest coming up on March 24th over at the LSU Rural Life Museum. The food trucks and Cypress Title, you guys have kind of found a little home together and teaming up, and especially the once a month that they're over at Calandro Supermarket on Government now, and then the Fridays at Zeeland Street Market, and providing some tables and chairs and just being a part of that community, right, Jason?
Absolutely, and it's been a blast. Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm part of the band with these food truck guys, and enjoy doing it.
Yeah, that's great. Before the last break, we were talking about some of the old restaurants in Baton Rouge and just the way that the city has evolved. Obviously, there's some restaurants that have been around since the 70s or 80s that are still fantastic, and then there's some newer restaurants that have come on the scene recently as well. Jason, what are some of your go-to spots?
Yeah, one of my biggest go-to spots right now for a steak is Doe's Eat Place.
Oh,
unbelievable, gigantic steak, and my good buddy Scott over there keeps it fun.
Scott and Teresa Overby do a great job over there. They've got a staff, George Krause behind the bar,
and he can make some great cocktails.
He's one of the best bartenders in this town.
Absolutely, that's a hidden bar.
It is Crown Town, they call it. Yeah,
and it's always and the atmosphere is cool too. It's like almost like there's a ski lodgy.
Yeah.
The feel there. There are deer heads, and the food is fantastic. It's kind of like you're surprised there isn't a line at the door but it's also kind of like a great, that's also a great part of it is you can go in.
And the bar there, I love that if you want to take the long way home from work one day, it's a great little bar to stop at.
It is. It absolutely is. Doe's Eat Place. My go-to is the bone-in ribeye. And usually the 2-pounder. Sometimes I only do the 1.5. But, I'm a big guy.
I ordered the porterhouse the other night, and 3 of us split it.
Yeah,
it was plenty.
Yeah, that's doable. And then do you get the tamales there as well?
Yeah, tamales are great. I love the fried asparagus they do too, with lump crab meat on top. Pretty delicious.
And just the basic green beans there are fantastic. I mean, it's like
and then the drop biscuits that they do.
Awesome.
Eat that with some honey.
One other spot too I want to mention that I eat at weekly is DeJulia's. My good friend Mike Johnson. This is such a great neighborhood restaurant. It's been around for a long time.
That's right there, the Perkins Road overpass as well.
And it's really cool. The atmosphere is unbelievable, and the folks there behind the bar, Clint behind the bar, Eric behind the bar, and Mike. It's a great spot. Spot.
Yeah, the Giulio Brothers definitely a cool spot for Italian. Right. You have any that you go to, Derek?
I like in terms of I'm relatively new to the area, but I know that the Bulldog is new, and that's actually got. I mean, the food is really good, and people don't really think of that as a place to go to eat. But then the beer is.
But it's some decent bar food.
Yeah, and just kind of segue into the booze aspect of the program. Like the booze is out of control. You've got the I don't know if there's a place that has more of a selection.
They have the biggest draft beer selection in town. They've got 81 taps in there, I believe. The Cove has more different bottles. The Cove is a place, if you've never been there and checked it out, man, just go walk into the Cove. It's in the City Place Shopping Center right off of Corporate. But just you walk in, you don't really know where you are. You go all the way to the back, and when the bar opens up in the back, you just see this wall of liquor and beer.
It's like a football field long.
It's incredible. Right. It's incredible. That's the biggest selection in town. Over 2,000 different bottles of adult beverages in there to choose from.
Wow.
So it's
and I thought my life was over once I found Arrogant Bastard.
Yeah, no, you go check them out. Well, Derek, you wanted to mention a couple more things about Cypress Title before we get off the air?
Sure. I part of why my wife and I are really excited about working with Cypress Title is they see the nexus and the interconnection between, I don't think people typically think of a title company as something that they're excited about or that they think about. But when it's a title company that actually, where all 3 principals were born and raised here and care about the community, and they see this nexus between, if they're closing property in the area and in the city, it matters. There's a connection between what the city's doing, how the city's growing, and who they're working with, and it's all about making the place as strong and as good and the best it can be, and so they recognize that there's that interconnection there, and it's great that they see that it's great that they know that they have to get behind the local community events like the food trucks or like all the other things that they're sponsoring. To like they just got involved in the Scene magazine is having a fashion week, which is Baton Rouge's first fashion week, and they're going to be a sponsor of that.
That's correct. In a cave,
Jason.
apparently,
Jay-
at the Celtic Movie Studio.
Right.
Very cool. Well, thank you all very much for getting involved with everything that you get involved with. Jason and Johnny was on the show, and Derek, thanks for coming in. Enjoyed having y'all and talking food trucks and a little bit of beer as well. Always a great time here on the BiteandBooze.com radio show. That is all the time we have for today. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll be back here next week, 5 to 6 p.m. on Talk 107.3 FM.